Hey guys, Saw Simon here, and thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Friday the 13th the game and 10 more new features I think the developers should add to the game to make the playing experience better. The ideas I will be suggesting are things I thought up while playing, some from the movies, some from the playing experience that people are upset with, and some that would just add new layers of fun to the game. As always, if you enjoy the video, do the button thing, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Thanks again for watching, and here we go. When Friday the 13th Part 6 came out, it gave new life to the franchise and made Jason an unrelenting killing machine that could not be stopped. Bullets couldn't stop him, crashes couldn't stop him, not even paintballs could stop him. All because Tommy lost his shit and had to stab him with a metal fence post. Because of that one lapse in judgment, Jason got resurrected like Frankenstein and has been killing folks ever since. So it would only make sense to add that scene as an intro for the game. Have Tommy and his friend Rorschach on their way to the cemetery. They dig up Jason, Tommy does his stab thing, lightning hits and reses Jason. He climbs out of his grave, kills Tommy's buddy, grabs his mask, and goes after Tommy as Tommy runs off, warning the other campers close by. It would be such an awesome way to start a match, watching Jason rise out of his own grave and then start to kill everyone around him. And if you are going to do this, let's add a new map and have it start with 8 players, meaning someone should start out as Tommy on this map instead of a player dying and having to come back as him. Weather effects were added to the game a while back, mostly the storm effects, but if they were going to add in weather effects, they should go full 9 and toss in wind. Make the wind so strong that it can randomly, at times, blow open unlocked doors of cabins. This would help add a level of oh shit to the game because you don't know if Jason might be right outside that door if you get too close to it. Or perhaps you are making your way to the door to lock it from Jason, and just as you are about to get that last latch in place, a gust of wind picks up and pushes the door as Jason is standing right in front of you, just as surprised as you are before he takes a swing. Adding in a new addition like this adds a new level of excitement to the game, because in those random times when a door will blow open on you, your true worth will get tested as a player. In my opinion, you should run without ever trying to reshut that door and hope you are the faster of the two. This game can be a lot of fun, and even more fun when you find a good lobby with people that are using headsets and having fun with the game. As a bonus, no one is leaving because they got killed in the first 2 minutes of the match or because someone called the police too soon and someone gets butthurt. When you are in these parties and having a good time, you never think to add those people to your friends list at the time because you're having fun and you can do it whenever anyway, right? Wrong. Too many times I have gotten DC'd while being in an awesome group of people and had no way of finding them again or rejoining the group I was in because there is no return to last group button or find most recent players played with feature, which is why this needs to be added as well. The best part of this game is getting into a random lobby and making friends with new people and then working together to kill Jason or keeping him stunned long enough for some of you to escape. This is a very simple idea that could save a lot of us a bunch of grief. Add a forfeit feature to the pause menu for the game. This button can be used for all types of reasons. First, it could save everyone a lot of trouble when they run into any type of glitch in the game. Getting stuck in the floor, a window, whenever the car messes up and you can't get out, pretty much any glitch that causes your character to get stuck and not move could not be remedied if you could just forfeit and wait for the next match to start. No more quitting the match and trying to find a new one or waiting for Jason to find you before the next 14 minutes of the match runs out. Even better, it will work for players that get tired of looking for someone and want to quit, or even the host to quit this way, so that way the match can end and everyone can get their experience, and then they could quit the party back at the load up screen. A simple idea for some complicated problems. Some of us that have been playing this game for a while remember the bad issues from before with players killing each other for fun or hiding car parts in the woods so no one could fix them and escape. Luckily, most of these issues have been fixed in one way or another. However, some have not. The issue with players going into single rooms, locking the door, and then jumping out of a high-story window that no one can crawl back through to get back into the room issue. I know why people do this, because they think it's funny. I find it to be a waste of time, but whatever. My idea to combat this idea is a two-person method. Say someone locked a door as I have described. The small shacks on Packanaut Lodge by the main house are perfect examples, or the small back room off of the main floor. There is no way back into these rooms unless Jason breaks down the door. However, if you have a partner, then one person can stand below a window and use their hands to boost another person up to the window, allowing them to crawl back into a locked room and unlock it. This will help players finally be able to get back into these locked rooms and find the items that are locked in them. There is no reason in general for players doing this other than them being douchebags, but it's still a nice way to have around this type of behavior. Perk synergy basically means all the perks you have chosen on your counselor all work together toward the same overall goal, and because of this you get a special bonus depending on the combination of perks used. So for instance, let's say you use Hypochondriac, which starts you with a med spray and increases the healing you can do with it. Then you also take Medic, which allows you to get 2 uses out of a med spray instead of 1. And lastly, you take Thick Skin, which reduces the amount of damage you receive. Overall, all 3 of these perks work toward you taking less damage, and if you do, having enough healing power to overheal yourself or others if you choose to help players. Since all 3 of these perks work toward healing you, you get a synergy bonus to your counselor as long as the 3 perks you use work like this. So for this type of perk usage, I would say give the player a larger health pool, allowing them to live longer. Let's try another example. Let's say you use 3 perks, Leadfoot, which increases the car's speed, Motorboating, which increases the boat's speed, and Speed Demon, which increases the speed of a vehicle when escaping solo. Since all 3 of these perks work toward the same goal of going faster in the vehicles, these perks work towards escaping the map and getting away in vehicles. Therefore, the synergy bonus for this would allow you to repair these vehicles faster and with less chance of making an error. So basically, these perks will help you lengthen your chance to make the correct button sequence during QuickTime events, and depending on your character's repair skill, will also remove some of the attempts if you have a low repair character. So instead of having to hit 7 correct button sequences, you might only need to hit 4, and the space to hit the correct button will also be bigger, giving you a better chance at making the correct choice. This has been in 2 movies, and still we have no way to make it happen even though all the pieces are already there. Why can't we set Jason on fire and have him walk around in flames? I understand the animation would be a bitch, but still it would be so much fun to be able to douse him with a can of gas and then have another player hit him with a flare gun to watch him go up in flames. Once he is set ablaze, make it so that he moves at a slower pace than normal until the flames go out. However, while on fire, anyone he picks up and grabs will immediately be set on fire regardless if they have a pocket knife or not, and he can still perform a kill on them if he wants, or let them go and watch them burn. This would be fun to just see what could happen in a match with it. However, I'm sure people would do nothing but waste the gasoline on trying to set him on fire all the time. So make it a one-time thing on the map with the gas can, or maybe add lighter fluid to the map. Another idea could be to add a gas fill station to the map, allowing players to fill the gas cans so they can use them over and over trying to set him on fire. Again, just an idea to spice things up. In several cabins around the camp, there are windows on the houses that have wooden bars or shutters on them that prevent you from being able to open them and use them as a means of escape. I would like to see this change and let players be allowed to use these types of windows as a means of escape, but not all the players. I would like for these windows to be able to be used by players that have reached 100 fear in the match and are still alive. My reason being, when you reach 100 fear because Jason is chasing you, you lose your map and your screen slowly goes darker and darker until you can only really see what's out in front of you, making it easier for Jason to chase you. But if you live through all of this and escape, you just go back to normal after a bit and that's it. Yes, there is a badge for reaching 100 fear and surviving, but no in-game bonus. Why not? Why can't we get a little bit stronger or faster because of that spike in adrenaline of fear? Surely that can make you jump through a window covered by a wooden shutter. If you could jump through a glass window, I don't think this would be that much harder if you were scared to death of dying. So once a player hits that much fear, a symbol can show up on their screen indicating that they can use these windows to escape. However, it will only last for so long. As your fear slowly goes back down to 0, your ability to use these windows will also reduce until, of course, you get chased again. This idea is one that would take some skill on the part of the player, but it would be very cool if they could pull this off. When a counselor picks up a weapon, they have the chance to hit you with it and stun you possibly. But this new ability for Jason could make that so much better. You will have to put yourself into combat stance for this and make sure you are fighting a counselor that has a weapon. If the counselor attacks you, Jason will have a new button that allows him to grab the weapon mid-swing and use it against that player depending on what type of weapon it is. So let's say a player grabs a baseball bat, and you and this counselor square up. As he goes to swing and hit you, Jason grabs the bat before it hits him and maybe has 2 or 3 types of kills he can do depending on the weapon he is attacked with. For the baseball bat, let's say he could 1. Pull the weapon out of your hand so hard that it pulls your arm off, or 2. He holds the bat and then starts hitting you in the face with it, sort of like a quit hitting yourself type of movement. Or 3, he pulls the weapon out of your hand and swings it, knocking your head off. Keep in mind this is just me brainstorming ideas for this scenario, as these kills don't have to be the way he handles the bat. Just another idea to add more depth to the game and a new ability for more skilled players looking for a challenge. Just like the forfeit button helps those players stuck in a situation they can't get out of literally, this new feature is one that can help you out of a jam. Allows players to jump out of the car when they feel the need to. Why would you need to jump out of the car, you ask? For starters, how about for those players that like to drive around and work with Jason? You know, the ones that like to drive you around until Jason shows up, and then they drive the car your side only, facing Jason, and they pull right up next to him as he pulls you out of the car and kills you, and then they drive off. Another situation where you might need to jump out of the car is if you are in the car with a terrible driver. One of those drivers that crashes every 5 seconds even though Jason is nowhere around. Driving with these type of players is almost as bad as being served up to Jason by the first type of person I described. There are a few other reasons someone might need to jump out of the car, but the point is we need to have this feature added into the game to help us players when we get stuck dealing with situations that developers haven't thought up yet or thought up ways to fix. I hate playing a match for over 10 minutes to just get in a car with someone and have that person screw me over because they are friends with Jason and I couldn't get out of the car until he literally stopped it. By that time I am already dead and looking for a new game to play. Add a certain amount of damage to the players depending on how fast the car was going when you jump out, and add in certain things like maybe hitting a rock or a post for a little extra damage. No reason to think that jumping out of a moving vehicle won't hurt you or possibly kill you. Well guys, that is all I have for you again on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it entertaining at least. I know the community has died off a lot for this game, but that doesn't mean it's still not a hell of a lot of fun to play this game. There is an update supposedly coming here around the end of January, beginning of February that should add a new Jason and a new map, so keep your eyes out for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.